use writing as an outlet for yourself in prison. How accessible were books for you when you were incarcerated?
So, yeah, to answer that question, I mean, my experience recently, 2016, 2017, nothing is easily accessible in prison. The prison service is on its knees. So the prison service and the prisons have mission statements. The organisation mission statement, which is on the walls, and it looks really nice and pretty, and they have it outside of the prisons. So the mission statement of the prison service is to detain those sent by the courts and treat them with respect and help them to lead law-abiding and useful lives. But all over England at the minute in 2019, every prison governor who runs all 125, 126 prisons in England and Wales at this point in time, when they come into work, their mission and their job and their responsibility is in no way, shape or form, despite the propaganda on Twitter and Facebook and such like, their responsibility and their job is not to uphold that mission statement. Their responsibility and their priority every Monday morning at 7 o'clock when they come into work to run these prisons is, have I got enough staff to prevent a riot leading to major loss of life, the murderer of a prison officer or a high profile escape? You know, and that's the long and the short of it. So
they're not worried about getting the prisoners books or pens or anything like that.
You can't get anything. It's become virtually impossible to get a radio. If you get books sent in, they get lost or they get sent back to your family, or they just go into stored property. You put paper applications, these paper application systems that we've been using for 40 years to follow up, you know, where your books are. Meanwhile, we're sending rockets to Mars, but in prison we're using this 40-year-old paper application system, dilapidated prison radios, 30-year-old big, huge fax machines, like as big as this table. So books are very difficult to get hold of. In the library, if you're lucky enough to be able to get to the library, if you're not on lockdown, you might be able to get there once a fortnight, maybe once a week if you're lucky. The range of books is very limited. It's a lot of like criminality, drug traffickers, Reggie Cray, mafia, you know, those kind of books. You know, not the kind of books, the educational books. Like I said, these systems, these structures are by way of designed to lim your potential. And a great example of that, Addy, is that in the modern British prison system, they only educate you up to a level 2 literacy grade, which is the equivalent to what would be a GCSE at C or D grade level. In America, it's called the what's it called? The H.
Is that a GED?
Yes.
Like high school equivalent, kind of.
High school equivalent, yeah. That you pass at 16 years old.
Yep.
Yeah. So the top level that you can go to in the education classrooms in the prisons is a level 2. As soon as you achieve that, you'll be taken off education.
Wow.
And you can start degrees with the Open University. I mean, I've done a taster course and started mine in prison, but let me tell you, they made it as difficult as possible for me to start doing a degree. They refused me access to a computer and told me that Open University degree, you're not allowed to use computers for that. So I was handwriting essays to length, doing, you know, which used to take me 20 hours because I've got to write it, make a mistake, rewrite it, proofread it, realise there was a certain angle I should have put in there, or criticise something a different way, analyse something a different way, rip it up, start again. They made it as difficult as possible for me to complete essays, but I got there. I completed a whole module for my degree just recently in 2017. while I was in prison, and it was a massive achievement under the circumstances. Yeah.
Good on